Hello everyone, my name is Jaydn, or Times2 Padel, and today we're going to go all the way to Bali to play in Asia's biggest ever paddle tournament. It's called the Nox Cup, and what's good about it is that they've got divisions all the way from beginner through to the pro level. And so I think they work where it starts at like bronze and goes silver, gold, high gold, and pro. And so I'm going to be competing in the silver division. Now, I'm teaming up with one of my best mates. I call him Gaz, or his name's Gabriel. He's coming from Dubai, and he's been training there. I'm coming from London, so we're going to meet up in Bali to do this tournament. So let's get packing and head to the airport. All right, I've made it. This is Gaz.
Nice to meet you guys. Jaydn's OG partner.
So we've both made it. It's been a long journey. Overall, I was probably about 6 hours delayed, but it was a bit of a nightmare getting here. Flew through Qatar and got caught up in some airspace closures, which wasn't all that fun. But here finally, not with my baggage. I'm still waiting on my luggage to come through. So fortunately, we've actually just managed to play a warm-up match here at Bali Padel Academy. How did you think it went?
We played against two players that were about 3.6, 3.5-ish. So in the silver category, which is where we'll be competing tomorrow. And yeah, we got a win, 2-1. Managed to just hold on at the end there against the clock and got the 6-4 in the last set. And feeling pretty good.
I'd end up having to rent a racket. I was playing in a pair of Reeboks. I've got no paddle gear here whatsoever. The air tag showing that my luggage has made it to Bali, so there's a chance I can get all my gear in time for the tournament tomorrow. We've got our fingers crossed for that, and we're going to actually pull through and play some real paddle. So time to have a cold plunge and enjoy this beautiful club by the rice paddy fields.
Yeah, nothing like it. Best club in Bali, probably the best club in Asia. Jaydn, I'm sure, will show you some shots of the surroundings, but yeah.
All right, let's rest up. See you tomorrow. So here we are, the round of 32, match number 1 for Gaz and I in this tournament. And as you can see, got all my paddle gear. It arrived, thankfully. It was delivered to my villa at 12:30 a.m. in the early hours of the morning, the night before the game. So I had to stay up and wait for it to arrive, but so grateful that it came and I can use all my gear. So in this first match here, we're playing a French duo, Quentin and Aurélien, who are living in Bali. So let's see what we can make of this first match in the tournament. So we actually managed in the first game of this match to break. I think we just got lucky with returning serve and taking advantage of their nerves at the start of the match here. But to be honest, all 4 of us were actually quite tentative and nervous to start off this match. No one really wanted to make any mistakes or unforced errors. And to be honest, I think Gaz and I were nervous in general. Like, we've flown all this way. We were here for a holiday as well, of course, but we wanted to make the most of this tournament. But unfortunately, as you can see here, we lost in the first set, and Quentin and Aurélien took a break or two towards the back end of that first set. So let's see here what we can make of the second set. As you can see here in the second set, we lost an early break. Things continued to go downhill for us here in the second set. I think we were even more tentative. We were starting to seize up. I think in the back of the head, we were just thinking, what if we lost this match? What would this mean for us for the rest of the trip? And so we had all these doubts in our mind, which is obviously not the right mentality to have. Now this continued for the rest of the set. As you can see, we're now 2 breaks down. Quinton and Aurelian are serving for the match. And that's how it finishes. We lose 2-love, bit of a shock to the system on day 1 of the tournament. So the bad news is we've lost any opportunity at winning this tournament. The good news is in some of these beginner divisions of these tournaments, there's a consolation bracket. So it's basically another opportunity to get some more game time, and basically you can be the best of the worst. So we're in the bottom 16, but now we're going for a run. Let's be the best of the worst. Let's go. And we are back, day 2 of the Nox Cup. Today we are down in the losers bracket. We're in the round of 16, and we're up against a pair with Matt on the right and Fabrice on the left. We had a bit of a debrief, Gaz and I, after the first round loss yesterday, and decided to change up a couple things. The main thing being that I would step over to the middle to control the middle of the court, which I wasn't doing yesterday, particularly when our opponents are lobbing. I've got a lot more height there, so I should be stepping over and taking their lobs. So I think you'll notice that in this match. The other thing we switched up was a bit more of a strategy today. So in the warm-up, we saw Matt, the player on the right, was quite nervous in the warm-up. So we decided, at least for this first set, we will target Matt a lot more and try and draw some unforced errors. But as you can see with the score at the moment, everyone's on serve so far in this first set. So let's see if we can close things out. And the answer to that is no. Matt and Fabrice actually managed to break us in the final game of the first set, and with that, taking the first set. At the break, Gaz and I were thinking we weren't actually doing anything wrong, but I don't think there was enough aggression there. So the game plan in the second set was to be more aggressive. And with that, you can see we already started by breaking Matt and Fabrice in the first game. So let's see if we can keep applying this pressure. Fortunately there, we just managed to close the point out before we noticed another ball on the court. As you can see, we're up 5-love here in the second set, gaining momentum, playing very comfortably, and there you see I managed to do a fake smash, probably the only one I did the whole tournament, and then and close the point out. We are well on the way to closing out the second set. And there you have it. It is now 1-all. We have the wind in our sails, the momentum is with us. We are now going into a match tiebreak. It is first to 10 points. We're feeling comfortable, we're feeling loose. Let's see if we can close out this match and get our first win in the Nox Cup. Did it, our first win in the Nox Cup. That deserves a beer. Now, on to the villa to debrief. All right, we are back at the villa after this beautiful villa. It's pretty damn nice. Today, it was just a completely different story. I think both of us had relaxed, maybe in our heads thinking there's less on the line, feeling loose in the warm-up, and so we ended up having a win. We won, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was we lost the first set actually, 3-6.
I think it was 4-6. And it was a weird one because, we were a lot better. But in the warm-up, they also looked a lot better. So I think they had the same kind of nerves as us, but they just managed to make less errors in the first set. And same kind of thing. I think we broke them, but then just bottled it at the end a bit. But we didn't feel that demoralized because we were just like, all right, well, we know what to do now. We just need to play our shots and they'll make more errors than us. So, then going to the second set, 6-0 to us. So, it was pretty clear that we were the better team. We just needed to keep our heads, make them play shots. If the rally went past 2 shots, we'd pretty much win every single one. So, it was good. We just started having fun out there. Like, Jaydn's overheads were just... He was having fun with it, lining up the fakes, just picking his spots. And, we both just felt a lot better. It was fun. And then the last set, we went to so instead of the third set, it's a super tie break, best of 10, or first to 10, sorry. And we won that 10-3, I believe, was it? Yeah. So that was... And the 3 points we conceded were all unforced errors from us. So they didn't get a single winner on us. And we just came out firing. Like, we were just like, we could sense that they were more nervous than us. So we knew that if we just played it back hard, made them, play their shots, and we would get the win. And, it went really well. Didn't have to do too much, really. It wasn't an amazing one to watch back, as you might see in the clips, but got the job done and on to the next consolation round.
Stay tuned for tomorrow. Day 3 of the Nox Cup. We've made it to the quarterfinals of the consolation bracket, and today we are up against 2 American guys, John and Johnson. They're both really friendly people and good paddle players. We also had some friends coming to watch us today, so we were really excited to play some good paddle. Everything was going well until disaster strikes. I roll my ankle. In case you missed it there, let's watch it again. This is not what I wanted. I knew it was a bad sprain and was currently going through all the options in my head on whether or not I could even continue on in this match. Our opponents, John and Johnson, were really good sports. They were even offering me a strap to put on my ankle to continue the match. But in the end, I thought I'd just try and walk it out and just see if the adrenaline could keep pushing me through the match. Gaz had quickly realised that he needed to take control of the middle and the court in general if we were going to keep applying the pressure on John and Johnson. Fortunately for me, the adrenaline did kick in and I was able to maintain some sort of mobility on the court. And with that, Gaz and I managed to close out this first set 6-2. Fully conscious that after this match, the swelling in my ankle could set in, meaning that even if we won, we may not be able to play another match. And with that in mind, Gaz and I knew to enjoy this potentially last set of paddle in Bali, especially with all our friends watching. Regardless of any injuries present, Gaz and I were playing good paddle. I think we had that nothing to lose mentality. We were communicating well, knowing who was going to take which ball, and just enjoying the match. Let's see if we can keep the momentum going in the second set and make it through to the semi-finals of the consolation bracket of the Nox Cup. We got the win. The boys are through to the semi-finals of the consolation bracket of the Nox Cup. Big win. It didn't come without consequences, however. My ankles swelled up big time overnight. We were deliberating whether or not to even play this match with my lack of mobility. I was struggling to walk, but we ended up deciding we'll give it a go. I'll basically stand there on the court, hit what I can, but Gaz is going to have to do all the running. So here we are. As you can see here, we are already down a break. We're down 4-3 to Max and Fab, our opponents. Another American pair who are living in Bali. They're ex-tennis players, so they've got good ground strokes, good volleys, but obviously some weaknesses around the glass. And to be honest, I don't think we exploited their weaknesses as much as we should have. Their tactic, on the other hand, I think they focused more on Gabriel and tried to put me in the fridge a bit more this match. Tried to get under Gabriel's nerves and see if they could force some errors from Gaz. So let's see here if we can claw back the break in this first set. Unfortunately, we were not able to hold on there in the first set, and Max and Fab take it quite comfortably, to be honest. Now, our strategy in this second set, although I feel Gaz was a bit nervous trying to take the responsibility of the match for the two of us due to my lack of mobility, I was trying to stress just to enjoy the moment. This could be our last time playing paddle together in Bali, so take it all in and just have fun. Max and Fab were definitely the strongest opponents we'd faced in this tournament. So it's good to get some long rallies in and some good competition and to see how we can improve as well. Now, as you can see by the score, Max and Fab absolutely ran away with this second set. And there you go, there's the match. I think Gaz and I had already mentally clocked out and were thinking about our post-match cold plunge and beers. So on that note, let's go listen in for the post-tournament debrief. We're back at the paddle club this time. We're in the wellness area. We've just had a nice cold plunge to finish things off. Today's Sunday. This is the finals day at the tournament. And we're fresh off our consolation draw semi-final. We actually just had a loss, but just pretty grateful we got to the court, to be honest. What did you think, Gaz?
Yeah, I mean, it was 9 a.m. start, which is the first time a quick turnaround from last night. Like, we only finished up at, like 9 p.m. or something. It was harder to sleep. The adrenaline was running high after such a big win. And yeah, I just think, like, personally for myself, I didn't feel as loose, didn't feel as, like, high energy, kind of came in there a bit timid. And then these guys just held their nerve really well. Like, they were definitely, like, a big step up in ability. And yeah, we really just weren't quite there. Like, Jaydn, considering his injury, like, honestly, they didn't even notice because you hit it really well. You might not be able to do everything you wanted to do, really put your whole body through it, through some of those shots. But this is our first time playing like a multi-day tournament, big stage, lots of people here. Only upwards from here, really. Yeah. Yeah,
I think in the scheme of things, we got four matches out of it, and we played a warm-up match. We played 5 matches in 5 days. I'm pretty stoked to just get some tourney content in and just having a good time, really. So we're pretty excited to enjoy the rest of our holiday. So thanks all for watching.
We'll be back next year.
See you then.